I get it standing on the back porch, mower in hand, watching the grass grow a little taller every weekend. You start wondering if it's finally time to let a robot take over. You've probably Googled robot mower for a quarter acre a dozen times, read a handful of tech blogs, and maybe even watched a couple of YouTube demos where the machine just glides around like it's on a racetrack. The big question that keeps popping up is, will this thing actually work on my uneven yard without turning my wallet into a black hole? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What makes the Mammotion LUBA 3 different from the Justinotherabotmer crowd is how it tries to blend high-end navigation with a workhorse motor. It's built for up to 0.75 acre, which puts it in the sweet spot for suburban lawns that are too big for a push mower but not massive enough to justify a commercial-grade system. The first thing you'll notice after unboxing is the Tri-Fusion navigation stack, a combination of 360 LiDAR, NetRTK satellite correction, and AWD path planning. In practice, that means the mower can map your property, remember where it's been, and plot the most efficient route without you having to draw boundaries with wires or paint. Setting it up is a bit of a weekend project, but not the kind that leaves you crawling under the deck for hours. You start by placing the docking station on a flat surface, ideally on a concrete pad or a sturdy stone slab within reach of a power outlet. The LUBA 3's mounting brackets are generous enough that you can angle the station a little, which is handy if your yard slopes a bit toward the house. Once you plug it in, the unit runs a quick self-calibration that syncs its LiDAR with the NetRTK data, giving it centimeter-level accuracy. From there, the app walks you through drawing virtual borders, which is where the Mower claim shines. I like that I could set a no-go zone around a flower bed simply by tapping on a map, and the mower respects it every time. Now, the daily usability is where the rubber meets the grass. After the initial mapping, the LUBA 3 starts mowing on its own schedule, usually between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m., when the grass is still damp from the morning dew. The 165W cutting motor feels more like a small brush cutter than a traditional reel mower, which translates to a crisp, even cut, even on taller blades. I've run it on a lawn that was left untouched for 2 weeks, and it still managed a uniform 1.5 centimeters trim without stalling. The AI path planning also means it doesn't follow the same line over and over. It varies its route, which helps prevent those unsightly striping patterns you sometimes see with cheaper robots. Obstacle handling is another real-world test. The LUBA 3 boasts 300+ obstacle avoidance, and in my house that translated to navigating around a swing set, a doghouse, and a few stray garden tools. The 360 LiDAR scans constantly, and when it spots something it can't drive over like a garden gnome, it reroutes around it without stopping. The only hiccup I ran into was a low garden hose lying flat on the grass. The sensor detected it, but decided the safest move was to pause and wait for the hose to be lifted. It's a reminder that, while the system is smart, you still need to keep the yard reasonably tidy for optimal performance. Who should consider the LUBA 3? If you have a medium-sized yard, roughly 1/2 to 3/4 of an acre, uneven terrain, and you're comfortable fiddling with a smartphone app a couple of times to set up virtual borders, this mower could be a time saver. It's also a solid pick for tech enthusiasts who enjoy the idea of a robot that leverages satellite correction for pinpoint navigation, something you don't see on most consumer-grade units. Homeowners with pets that like to wander into the yard will appreciate the no-go zones. You can block off a spot where your dog likes to nap, and the mower will steer clear without you having to lay down physical barriers. On the flip side, if your lawn is under 0.3 acre, you might be overpaying for capabilities you'll never need. The same goes for folks who prefer a truly plug-and-play experience. Even though the LUBA 3 setup isn't overly complex, you do need a reliable Wi-Fi connection, a flat spot for the dock, and a willingness to spend a few minutes each season updating the map if you add new garden features. Another consideration is the price point. This isn't a budget robot mower. The advanced navigation suite drives the cost up, so if you're only looking for a basic Katango solution, a simpler model could save you a few $100. Practical strengths that stand out after living with the unit for a month include the consistency of the cut and the confidence that the mower won't wander into my driveway. The AI path planning also means my lawn looks uniformly trimmed even after a heavy rain, because the mower can adjust its schedule and resume where it left off.